Welcome to Look Up Andre's Stories. I'm your host, Andre, and here we are for another episode of the show. Please remember to subscribe to my channel. Feel free to leave comments as well and suggestions. So, we're going to kick off the show with a scripture. This is from Ecclesiastes 11, verse 1. Give generously, for your gifts will return to you later. All right. Now, I've come across some very interesting things over the last few days here. I was meeting with a friend of mine recently. We're at a local food establishment, the one that's kind of famous for its golden arches here in the 321. So we're hanging out, talking. And, I ask about different people that work there that come and go. And I hadn't seen someone in a little while. So I said, hey, where's that girl so-and-so? And my friend told me, oh, she doesn't work here anymore. She got pregnant. She's gone. And I said, what? Again? Now, the reason I say again is because every time I hang out with this friend, whenever I ask a question about a girl who I have not seen in a while that works there, the answer always comes back the same thing. Oh, Andre, she got pregnant. She doesn't work here anymore. Not that she lost a job from becoming pregnant, but it's an ongoing theme. Now, this has happened 3 times within maybe a 2-year period of me going to this local establishment and, knowing this friend of mine that works there and asking that particular question. Now, the last time I asked it, which was today, when she told me, I was like, wait, please don't say, and she says it. Now, here's a very odd thing to this whole thread. The ladies who end up having a child who work at this place, they're all somewhere within the age ranges between, let's say, 16 to 25, in that range. Now, okay, that may not be such a big deal, but what I think is a little bit more of a big deal is that all these women, all 3, have blonde hair. Nothing against being blonde, but I think it's a very strange coincidence that all 3 women had blonde hair. I'm like, that's weird. So, I don't know. It's just an odd thing. I ask a question about somebody, innocently asking, and that seems to happen. And my friend says, yeah, every time you ask about, one of the ladies who used to work here or you haven't seen in a while, that's the answer. So, I'm not quite sure what the moral of that story is, but I don't know. Maybe they need to warn the upcoming new employees about things that are going on there or something, or say, hey, look, let me warn you, before you take this job, people end up having children while they're here. Not that having children is bad, but it seems like they're having children in unmarried circumstances every time, it seems like, which I don't know. It's just very interesting stuff going on at that place, let's say. So I was joking with my friend saying, I think they need to have an investigation starting with management to see what's going on at that place, or, have some kind of a warning on the applications, But just a very strange set of circumstances at that place. So I don't know what the going on there is, but something's going on. Anyway, I just thought that was a very strange set of circumstances. And I've never seen any of those women anywhere in 321 since each one of them has become pregnant. They just vanish. And in the 321, we run into a lot of people all the time randomly, and they have just vanished. So maybe one day I'll find those 3 women, see what's going on, and invite them on a podcast. Now that would be fun, to have each of them on the podcast, share their story, see if there's any connections beyond what I've already made between the 3 of them. So there you go. The 3 blonde ladies all having children and then stop working at the place. So Not sure what's going on there. So, very interesting. And other interesting things going on, I was in a few parking lots recently, and I've noticed this trend where young teenagers, young teenage boys, will ride their bicycles through parking lots where it's kind of busy, and they'll pop wheelies on their bike and record it. And they almost lose their life half the time because they'll be popping wheelies and they don't pay attention. I saw a car back up, come within 1 inch of taking a young man's life, but he succeeded in not dying today. But yeah, I'm not sure what's going on or why this is such a big thing, but maybe it's another one of those social media or YouTube things where, you know, I saw this online, so I'm going to imitate it, whether it's safe or not, and just carry on. But unfortunately, I think this is going to end with some bad consequences, which probably have happened already. But it's a little unnerving when you're driving your car through the parking lot and then there's some kid popping a wheelie right in front of you and he doesn't even look at you, and you're like, I hope you see me. Let me beep the horn before you crash into me, and we have another problem after that. So I guess it's a thing of being a youth and just doing wild and crazy things, which we've all done in the past. And most of us, thankfully, are still alive from our adventures and didn't get maimed in any kind of way. So that's the latest trend now. So keep an eye out there when you're in the parking lot for kids popping wheelies, recording themselves, and you might even be in the video as you have a near death experience with them as they ride on by, as they come within inches of your vehicle. So beware of that, folks. Like they say, you always got to look out for the other guy, and you got to look out for everybody now. So, yep, that is what's going on there. So be careful with that, folks. And flashing back here to a place I worked at a few years ago up in the 201 area. And when I was working there, I was a head cashier at this one place, a place that, you know, supplied things like lumber and those type of things and other accessories for the home and lawn and garden, that kind of thing. So I'm working, innocently enough, and I'm scanning different items for a customer, you know, this and that. And as I look up, I see my coworker literally in a boxing match with another customer, except the customer looked like the punching bag, and my coworker was like a Golden Gloves boxing champ the way he was doing a number on this guy. So I'm looking at this. The customers are looking at this. One customer says, "Hey, Andre, does that normally go on here?" I'm like staring him dead on like, no, that's not a normal thing here. He's like, "What's going on?" I said, "You know, that's a good question, but my coworker looks like he's winning this fight unanimously." And it was crazy. He was just pounding this guy. And eventually, management got out there. I picked up the phone and called and said, "Hey, we got a fight going on. Not sure what caused it, but, you know, we need somebody to stop this." So management shows up there in a little bit, get them separated. My coworker's yelling at the customer, and police come by, talk to everybody. I see my coworker leave by himself, no police. I see the customer leave with no police. And later, management told me that the customer spit on my coworker. So my coworker taught him a major lesson. I have no idea why the customer would even do such a crazy thing. The customer was many years older than my coworker, and my coworker, I learned later, was also some type of a boxing champion in the amateur ranks, and he showed it because he was just teeing off on that guy, and he looked like a boxer, and I was like, wow, he looks like he's, you know, a fighter. And come to learn later, yep, he was. And our customer definitely picked the wrong guy to tick off, because that was just a slaughter. So, as the story continues, they later told us that our coworker was relieved of duty and not coming back, which I don't know, kind of surprised me. I was like, well, wait, the customer is the one who started this by spitting on him. Not saying you should beat everybody up, but that's kind of human nature. If you are attacked in some way, you defend yourself and fight. And yep, my coworker, he was doing the fighting, so he lost his job over it, which was I thought a bit unfair, but it was pretty interesting. But nobody went to jail. But that was just a strange day of work to be doing your work, scanning items, and then looking up and saying, "Oh yeah, he's just knocking the daylights out of that guy. Oh yeah, he spit on him." So But yep, that was a wild ride that day, ladies and gentlemen. And I say to myself, what was the lesson in all that? As I look up and say, wow, can I just have a normal day? It seems like every day there's something unusual that I see or that happens. So, yep, I think God's a comedian. He likes to teach me lessons in strange ways. So, yeah, so that is pretty much our episode here of Look Up. Looking forward to sharing more stories with you very soon. Please feel free to leave comments below. Please subscribe to my channel. And stay tuned for another episode here. So, yes, we are now on YouTube. So you want to check us out here. I also have Look Up Andre's Stories, also on Podbean. That's another app where you can find my show. And looking forward to expanding to other platforms. So stay tuned for that as well. And that is all for now. Thank you for listening, and have a great day.